How's it going, guys? Cracked Rack here, and today I have a tale for you that will satisfy your guys' insatiable, predatory, shark-like urge for more Lolcow content. I hate making Lolcow content. I'd rather make my brain paint the walls with a 12 gauge. But unfortunately, we live in a Lolcow eats Lolcow world. So fine, you want a Lolcow? I'll give you a Lolcow. I'll give you a Lolcow you'll never forget. Once upon a time, there was a lovely community of people known as the Object Show community. It was a prosperous and peaceful community of beautiful transgender children who loved nothing more than animating inanimate objects being friends. It was lovely, and everybody loved it. There were zero problems in this community, and nobody ever had any issues. Until one day, a storm came upon them. Enter AlchemistArea, a 13-year-old hobbyist animator and future sex offender. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. What I meant to say is he was a lovely boy from a lovely home of two loving alcoholic parents. And Maxwell, at the age of 13, was an incredible animator for his age. He was able to, by himself, animate some pretty decent Flash animations for the time, and they got good viewage. He was respected in the community, and by age 16, he was working for a very popular web series that regularly pulls in millions of views. I was this boy's best friend, for years. We hung out together constantly. We played Saints Row together. We jerked off to... we were normal boys and we did normal things. Anyway, long story short, this boy got into some serious little girl sex-having controversy, and he also betrayed me. So I did what any normal 16-year-old boy would do. I wrote a novel about how much he sucked ass on Encyclopedia Dramatica. Alright, so we're gonna read the article now. Keep in mind, I can't read the stuff above this because, it's full of just horrible slurs. I don't really want any part of that, you know what I'm saying? Also, we're going to read it first, and then I'll go through the images later. So stick around for the images. I think you'll like them, or hate them. I think you'll probably have nightmares about this. You might even kill yourself. AlchemistArea, power word, Maxwell Hall, is a 16-year-old pedophile and hiccup fetishist. He has a popular anti-Semitic suggestion, which I will not, state for any, Jewish minority that may be watching. But he has a YouTube channel targeted towards children. His antics include getting 12-year-old girls to hiccup for him on camera so he can masturbate over Discord, getting fired from a very popular internet web series for said hijinks, dating what has been assumed to be underage girls. Oh, it's been more than assumed. And being a transgender brony, which, on its own, that's fine. If you want to be transgender, that's up to you. This is America. But, it doesn't help his case. His favorite things to do include pretending to be a little girl online to bully retarded people. Oh yeah, he's big on that. Convincing extremely underage fans of inanimate insanity to pursue a sexual relationship with him, stuffing himself until he's full so he can fulfill his vor fetish, and expressing a desire to murder his father with a kitchen knife. Area will freak out and cry if any hint of criticism comes his way. You would think he was 11 or 12 years old talking to him. Although looking at him, you would think he was Jared Fogle, number 2. Early life. This information was brought to us from a person who went to school with him. Our whatever the hell that says, he actually went to a normal public school for about 6 years. Evidently, he learned nothing from those years. He was assigned an aide for 1st to 3rd grade. An aide is, special ed because he's retarded. But said aide was removed when they realized he wasn't actually very autistic, just mind-bogglingly bad at decision-making. He says he was bullied pretty heavily, which is believable, but the bullying was probably people just trying to stay away from him because he smelled like BO and shit, and that he dropped out to go to online school because of the social traumas of public schools. What were these social traumas? Shit he caused himself. I actually know why he was taken out of school. I think it was because in about 7th grade, a bunch of kids got in a circle around him and started kicking him and bullying him. And he was, crying, and they were in, a circle being like, oh, loser, gay, idiot. And he started crying, and, he was taken out, the next day. The next chapter is so aptly named The Autistic Night Rises. So, right before a big Halloween dance occurred at Aria's school, Area, being the disgusting prepubescent mass of barely functioning flesh that is all 12-year-old boys, decided that he was emotionally ready to take on the responsibility of a healthy dating relationship. He wasn't, so he decided that he needed to get a date for the dance. He asks his crush, a poor, oh boy, I'm not saying that one. of maybe 11 years old. Understandably completely blindsided by this, she said yes, only because she didn't want to hurt the retarded kid's feelings, and then promptly forgot about it, like a normal person. Well, the night of the dance comes around, and Arias shows up in a full Rigby costume, probably complete with the heart on. The girl was horrified. Like any reasonable human being would do, she tried to put as much distance between her and the malformed autist in a Rigby costume. What does Arias do? He follows her for 45 straight minutes, effectively turning her experience into a scene from a slasher film. Eventually, she just tells him that she only said yes because she didn't want to experience the wrath of his tard rage. This depresses him for days afterwards, and he decides that the only rational solution is to isolate himself from the world entirely. As it turns out, he learned absolutely nothing from middle school because everyone found out later that he was still, in fact, a sex-starved, emotionally stunted man-child who spent most of his free time soliciting sex from vulnerable 12-year-old girls. Our brave autistic knight dips his toes into a pool of trouble. Sometime after he released the newest episode of his shitty children's show, some allegations, that were later proven true, had come out that he was soliciting sex from 12 to 14-year-old girls that were fans of his shitty channel. This was a surprise to nobody. The allegations had come out on his, anti-Semitic slur channel, but unfortunately either YouTube or Arias' mother had taken them down, and nobody really gave enough of a shit to back them up, because everybody believed it because it's him. So all we have to go off of anymore are the leaked chat logs between our protagonist's mother and the person who came out with the allegations. His mother acknowledges his creepy behaviors and even suggests putting her own son on a registry. Parent of the fucking year. It's obvious the person sending her the text is egging her on a bit with overdramatic dialogue you'd find in A Clockwork Orange. Ugh, cringe. I was a cringy boy, okay? I mean, I'm still a cringy boy, but I was a real cringy boy back then. So I thought that everything I said was, like, cool, like a Clockwork Orange, basically. But she seems to be none the wiser. Reading the text, it starts to make sense that Arias likes fucking 12-year-olds when his mom refers to herself as a mama bear. His mom is fucking stupid. At one point, when it was brought up that Arias might be suicidal, she dismissed this and mentioned that her family doesn't believe in suicide, so she hopes not. That'll work out, I'm sure. Of course, the leaking of these logs caused his mom to spurg out and contact an attorney, which holds no bearings in this situation, seeing as she didn't give orders to not leak this information, and she also seems to not realize that her son is actually the one completely in the wrong here. Due to these allegations going public and being confirmed by former employees of Arias was fired from the show he animated for, known as Inanimate Insanity, a show that regularly pulls in millions of views. Instead of realizing he still had the potential to get millions of views on his own, and that this wasn't a huge loss at all like a rational human being would, he practically shut down. Our sources say he bitches and moans all day while sleeping, and no one is surprised. Unfortunately, due to how fucking stupid his fanbase is, they didn't even bother to look into what he's done, as they don't care. Though ironically, they're all the same age as his victims and are at risk of becoming victims, so to this day he still has access to thousands of children anytime he wishes. Okay, pause, stop right here. It should be known, okay, to give him the benefit of the doubt, he was not 18 when he was doing this. He was like 14 to 17, which is too old for, 12-year-old girls, but, he wasn't a pedophile, okay? I sincerely doubt he would be doing this today, unless he wanted to get fucking lynched. And so just don't lynch him, don't witch hunt him, just lol at this, okay? The acts committed. When I was 14, Arias would frequently call me late at night and masturbate while asking me to hiccup for him, and that I needed to record all of my hiccups for him or else I was torturing him. His first victim. The removed and downright hilarious evidence that was on YouTube is being recovered as we speak and will be posted here as soon as humanly possible. Yeah, that didn't age well. I don't think this has been updated in 4 years. So for now, I shall just explain. Arias would frequently add young, impressionable fans of his channel to his Discord. He would then build a rapport with them before dating them and forcing them, 12 to 14-year-old girls, into disgusting and downright autistic sexual role plays. His favorite thing to do was to get these kids to record their hiccups for him so he could later masturbate to them furiously. He also liked to stuff himself full of food and masturbate while imagining that he ate the girl he's chatting with on Discord. Oh yeah, vor and all that fetishy, inappropriate stuff. He was into that. Aria was big on fetishes. Fetishes were like his bread and butter. Things Aria is sexually attracted to: hiccups and vomit, children, vor, MLP hentai, Moana hentai, object show hentai, non-consensual sex roleplays, anyone under 15. Things Aria is not attracted to: adults, heterosexual sex. How to make Aria extremely angry: call his show a piece of shit that nobody likes, comment something about hiccups and asterisks, call him a pedophile, disagree with him about anything, remind him of pretty much anything that is remotely true about him. Anyway, his channel, though somewhat dead, as has been confirmed he has no access to the internet as of right now, is still active, with hordes of children supporting him. No matter how much evidence is shown to them, and no matter what happens, they will always support him. This is the sad fact of the matter. Pedophiles on YouTube will prosper in prepubescent pussy, and that will never change. However, this is still an ongoing situation that will definitely continue. Yeah, that didn't age well. It actually ended as soon as it started. I mean, thank God. I spent way too much fucking time on this. Forever alone. A common theme in Aria's very unstable and hilarious friendships is a lack of ability to keep said friend for longer than a month. Usually he bullies said friend until they block him, or he'll just act like a creep. A great example is a friend he once had, whom he shared way too much with. Our brave knight was playing with himself one fateful night at about 2 in the morning. His poor mother had the unfortunate pleasure of walking in on her son, with his legs behind his head, butt naked, with a rock-hard cock jerking off to Moana hentai. He shared this with multiple people for whatever reason, and it's not even the first time this has happened. He frequently shares his sexual fantasies and fetishes with friends, some as young as 12. The worst offender was when he sent unsolicited dick pics to multiple underage girls online. This not only scarred these girls, but also turned them gay. It has been confirmed that Aria does not wash his hands after he masturbates, and is used to jizz flying on his shirt and face. This means that every single child-friendly video he's ever made was made with a jizz-covered keyboard. His delusional mother. The reason Aria turned out the way he did was because of his delusional, batshit insane mother. His mother will ignore reality and subject her own frequently. When Aria was a small child, she thought to herself, how can I fuck my son's life up in the worst possible way? That's when she had the brilliant idea of homeschooling somebody with no social skills or social ability. This is what led to Arias' initial downfall. Due to his years of isolation, he had come up with a delusional plan to try and date somebody he hadn't spoken to in 4 years by showing up at their door unannounced and randomly asking if she wants to go on a date. Of course, Arias' mother was totally complicit in this idea and even supported it because she's fucking retarded. Through Arias' homeschooling, he hasn't learned proper hygiene, how to talk to people, or how to deal with real-life situations. His alcoholic retard of a father likes to teach his very impressionable autistic son life lessons from episodes of South Park, such as why he shouldn't attend public school because people will call him an Whoa, okay, I'm not saying that. Look, you can call me a pussy all you want. I want my YouTube channel. His mother, again, is still completely okay with these corrupt teachings, as she doesn't want to make Arias' father angry, or else he'd hit her with a shovel and put her in his trunk. Instead of monitoring her very young and naive son on the internet, she let him browse freely and talk to whoever he wanted. This resulted in him having sexual interactions with children that his mother, when confronted, wasn't worried about. She only cared about getting out of trouble and saving face, which is typical for narcissistic retards like her. Or, maybe she didn't want her son to be on a sex offender registry. Maybe I was a little harsh there. She referred to his actions as nothing but a sexual fetish, which is not only delusional, she didn't refer to it as anything but really showcases where Aria got his strong common sense skills from, though she had been warned previously about Aria's scandalous behavior, so the only person at fault here is her. To the Hall family, that's Aria's last name, nothing is your fault, and everything is to be blamed on other people. This is showcased by Aria's lack of empathy or remorse after the drama died, when he mentioned that none of this was his fault, but instead the person who released the information's fault, because all of the stuff that had happened when he was younger, and that all of the stuff he has done has been forgiven by the victims, which after simply contacting 3 of them, which was also proven false. Not only did she let her son, who was very obviously incapable of making decisions, browse the internet freely, but let him do so, even taking the fact that he was a D-list internet celebrity, Lolcow, into consideration. Never once did she sit him down and talk about what he shouldn't do on the internet, but instead let her autistic son figure it out for himself, because that's how you be a good parent. It's been noted that Arias had been asked by his mother if he was planning on shooting up a school. Arias' mother has an affinity towards attorneys, as anytime something upsets or offends her online, she'll hire one for legal advice, though in reality it just makes her situation so much worse, as her legal letters/ramblings are heavily mocked and made fun of. Her attorney suggested, during the recent drama, just ignoring the situation. However, doing so enabled Arias' victims to come out about the gross shit he did more freely without Arias' backlash. So in the end, her attorney essentially fucked her over. His retarded dad. Not only is Arias' mother retarded, but his dad is as well. It's been noted from many sources who have heard interactions between Arias and his father that he is an extreme alcoholic with a short temper. It is estimated that his father drinks from 12 to 18 ounces of hard liquor a day, which explains Arias' autism. Arias' dad can be found frequently barging into Arias' room, most likely while Arias is rubbing one out, so that he can drunkenly make a few comments about his cock before he'll then tackle Arias or get in his face. It has been noted that when Arias came out as transgender, which yes, was a thing, his dad spit alcohol everywhere and started ranting about how he's a disgrace to the family. Arias soon came out and said he's not transgender anymore. Daddy's favorite things to do: walk around shirtless, drink 2 shots of Everclear every morning, bully his obviously homosexual son, watch endless episodes of South Park, pretend that he isn't 50 and rapidly aging, drink his depression away before going anywhere as a family. God knows he doesn't want to be seen with his queer son sober. Scream and cry at everything he doesn't like. Oh man, I was just such a horrible person. Alright, the last paragraph, well, I mean, there are other paragraphs, but they're so fucking just anti-Semitic, I'm not fucking reading them. BFOD is the animated show Arias shits out on a yearly basis, if even that. Think of it like Arias' Sonichu. It consists of objects doing challenges and competing with each other for fuck knows why. We wouldn't understand such a complicated premise as we don't have autism. Actually, I do have autism. I think I was just projecting here. At least that's what the show says it's about. In reality, each episode is 6 to 10 minutes of nonsensical bullshit that ends with us knowing less than we did at the beginning of the episode. It usually starts off with Arias trying to be funny for 3 minutes before introducing us to the plot of the episode, which usually doesn't make any sense and is obviously from the mind of a retard. Then these abominations called characters will wiggle around while saying non-sequitur shit for the entirety of the episode. Now, a rational human being would watch that and think it was a piece of shit, before then going about their day. However, due to Arias' audience being primarily 6-year-olds, if he's lucky, they think it's the best thing they've ever seen, and will usually make requests as to what the next episode should be about. Or they'll string together a bunch of unrelated words that have loose affiliation with the episode, probably because they have fetal alcohol syndrome. Arias' work ethic is horrible, as in the last 3 years, he's only managed to make 5 episodes of his show. This amount of time would make sense if it was a well-made series, though the script writing, voice acting, and animation all say otherwise. It has been said that the long production times are due to Arias being a lazy piece of shit, probably spending his time squeezing girls to force hiccups out of their esophagus. He will cancel, change up the show, or start some type of drama that delays the show for months. This show had landed him a job as an animator on the hit web series Inanimate Insanity, which pulls in millions of hits monthly from failed abortions that also watch BFOD. Though due to his activities coming to light, he was promptly fired without second thought by the creator of Inanimate Insanity, probably because he didn't want a child rimlicker associated with his work. Fortunately for us, once his employees heard of his acts, they quickly parted ways with BFOD. So as of today, BFOD and all shows created by Arias are cancelled. That isn't to say he won't make another show by himself or continue to leech off of the views he got from Inanimate Insanity. Alright, now it's time to look at the images. Why do I keep burping? Holy shit, that's so disgusting. I hope you guys haven't vomited yet. So here's Maxwell. Maxwell Hall. Very beautiful man. Very sexy. I mean, wow. I'd fuck him if I were a girl. Next we have a screen cap of him and one of the little girls, which, you know, little girls are his favorite pastime. The little girl says, "Dude, I hiccuped like 3 times, and when I finally realized and ran to the computer, the excitement stopped my hiccups." Then Arias says, "Why the fuck do you even tell me this? To torture me?" And the little girl, being, very scared, is like, I guess, I don't know. And Aria's like, I seriously want to die. Why do you never get to fucking record them? I'm cursed. Yeah, you're cursed, alright. I have hiccups. Record them, now. Okay, let me get my phone. I don't know where it is. And then she says that the hiccups stopped, and now he's like, fuck. How come you get them so much but are never able to record them? Is God against me or some shit? Jeez, man, you're a real drama queen. She just hiccuped and didn't record it. Here he is at a meetup for Inanimate Insanity with Adam Katz, which, this is a cursed image. I bet Adam Katz wants this removed. This is a picture of the meetup with the creator of Inanimate Insanity and Area together. I mean, you can't blame the guy for this. He didn't know that Area was a child rim licker. He's just trying to make a good show for kids to enjoy. That's all he's trying to do. So, leave him be. Anyone associated with him, has no responsibility for Area's child rim licking. Here he is being credited in one of the Inanimate Insanity episodes. Here's his father, who, this picture was sent to me personally by his father long ago. Very sexy man, I guess. There's a picture of a kid fingering his butthole, not going to show that. Here's an image that Area sent that is really weird. It just kind of expresses, the kind of guy he is. This was a conversation between me and him when we were about 14. So I said, I had a wet dream last night that ended up horrible. In the dream, I was getting blown by a model. I nutted hard, then I woke up. My dick stuck through my underwear, and when this happened, so the nut was all over my shirt and chin. I almost vomited. And then Area responds to the nut was all over my shirt and chin part, and he says, you're not used to that, Lolcow? So yeah, that's the end of this, Area. Do what you will. You're probably fine. You probably could be the next Dan Schneider if you wanted to. You're already well on the path. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this nightmare of a video. And, peace out.